Hello and welcome to another blah 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 blah.
Yes, and what my friend Jerry was saying in Swahili was,
Hello,
what were you saying?
hello and welcome to another Zombie Beach. I was trying to be all professional,
You were pretty good there for a minute until you
and
got
I,
to
I
the word. I don't even know what that word was.
welcome. I
Ex-
think
Welcome. Yeah,
God stands
exactly.
for. I'm gonna try it again.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Zombie Beach. With me is Dan,
Hi, everyone.
and I'm Jerry, of course, or
Yes.
Gerolda, as it says on the website.
Yeah. Now, I was going to ask you about the Brother Gerolda. I mean, I know where Brother Gerolda came from, and if longtime listeners who listened to the Crazy Bob episode know Brother Gerolda, but why did you adopt that as your moniker?
Because at first I was afraid to put my real name on this website.
And and the subsequent podcasts that we've done really encouraged you to do that. Good lord.
No, I just kind of went, oh well, whatever. It's
Oh,
me. I'm out there. Oh God,
yes.
some of my coworkers will find it. Oh well.
It's I thought about that too, and I thought, you know what, if there uh, was anyone out there who was looking to do a background check on me and they found this, well, there's nothing here really that would be incriminating. I mean, we're just two guys sitting around having a conversation.
Well, and yeah, I did used to do drugs when I was a teenager.
Yes. Well, I mean,
Then
we
again, so did a certain president we had,
yes.
or two.
I know Grover Cleveland
You know
came out recently.
what a what a druggie he was.
He was very
But actually, I'm blessed right now. I work at a great company. As I say, I work at a great company that has they're very serious, but they're very open-minded.
yes.
And it's because it's not an American company. It's a European company.
Oh, really?
And I'm not going to go into who it is,
Right.
but there's a lot of progressive um, thought and they're just it's just a great bunch of people, and so I'm not afraid of them stumbling on this stuff.
Well,
I don't talk about any of the products. I don't talk about who I work for.
no.
You would have to dig that up. In fact, I was so kind of I want to keep my work life and my online persona so separated to the point where I actually took my LinkedIn account down
Really?
because it you would be able to tie me in to where
Oh,
I work, and I just don't want to do that because there's going to be some people out there who don't like what we say, and they're going to point fingers, and they're going to and then they're going to try to find out who we work for and give us trouble. It's going to happen. It always happens to anybody who has anything to do with broadcasting out your life and work to the world, right?
well, now that's true. That is absolutely true, and I think that, I'm sure that there is some very good sage wisdom in that. However, can I just tell you this
Sure, sure.
that I actually used our podcast as a reference for this last job I applied for.
Well, I mean, if for certain jobs it would be a good thing, but for what I'm in right now, while I don't think my employer would frown on it, I don't want to do anything to embarrass them, and so I just keep it separate. You know?
Yeah. Well, and this is what I think. I honestly don't think it'll hurt my chances to get on with the Society for Caring for Elderly Midgets, but it's possible. They have not called me back yet, but I don't know. I gave them that as a reference just to show them that I was kind of a lighthearted, fun type of individual, and that's been several weeks ago. So I have not heard from them since, and they won't return any of my calls.
Oh well, you didn't want to work for them anyway. Not
No,
not if they're going to be like that.
no, absolutely. I mean, I thought they were stand-up people, and apparently they weren't. So
There really isn't that organization, is there?
I can either confirm or deny the existence of of any company
It,
that
it,
takes care
it
of
be,
elderly midgets.
because it might be kind of embarrassing if it really doesn't exist. I mean, it does exist.
Well, it might exist. I don't know. What are you gonna do? Do you stack them? I don't know. That's a throwback to one of our earlier podcasts where we were
Oh,
talking about the
oh,
the
gee.
the dwarf lounger and all that. But I'm totally fine with that, and but in all seriousness, I did actually um, use this, and I'll tell you the site that actually, and dude, I'm amazed and I'm excited because uh, they want to fly me out to the East Coast to interview me.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, I'm very excited about it. Honestly, like we had talked about over the last the last year, last almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Um, I'd go on interviews. They'd love me, my resume. They love my resume. They say I'm overqualified. You're the man. You're great. We want to hire you. We'd have 3 interviews. Everybody would love me. They'd say, call us on Monday and we'll tell you what time we want you to start. And I'm all excited. I'm making plans. I call them up on Monday. Oh, well, the boss pulled the plug. I had that happen to me more times than not. And
It
you,
probably
you know,
has nothing to do with you. It probably has something to do with they had a budget meeting and they realized, oh, we can't afford to hire anybody right now. That's happened. I can't really say the circumstances, but I know of that happening
well,
very, very, very close to me.
it's happened more often, and not just to me. I've had 7 close friends that I've talked to say the exact same thing,
Yeah.
that
But,
it's
but
gone great, and then they get the plug pulled.
here's the thing, though. There's a lot of indicators that that's turning around.
Really?
Yes, yes. The
Okay.
economy the bottom has been hit. It's starting to rebound. It's not going to be a smooth climb back up. It's going to be kind of bumpy and wavy, but we're back. We're on course to be back to good times.
Well, I can attest to that because to having the bottom been hit because I've had my ass kicked for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that it's got to be better. I mean, I don't, I'm you know me, Jerry. How long have you known me? You've known me like almost 30 years, and I'm a very
Yeah.
optimistic guy.
Yep, you are.
And I have not gotten to the point to where it's like I want to give up hope. I don't want to go sit on the curb with a sign that says "We'll work for bandwidth" or anything like that. It's like I, but it's just it gets to the point where I try not to get too excited about job possibilities. It's like I get to a certain point to where this has happened so many times. I feel like Charlie Brown and the football with Lucy.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I swear this time I'll hold the
I'm
ball and you can kick
really
it.
going to hold it. You can kick it.
Exactly. And it never, at least, up until now, that has not been the case. Now, this current one where they're going to fly me out to the East Coast to interview me seems great. I already talked to my references and they've been contacted and they said that the guy talking to them had nothing but great things to say. So
Well, the fact that they're flying you out to the East Coast is a good indicator. And hey, at the very least, enjoy the trip.
it is. Well, I think it's kind of funny because they're a West Coast company and I don't know why they only gave me a one-way ticket.
What?
I don't know. It's like maybe they're trying to get me out of the country. I'm not quite sure, but
No,
no,
seriously,
it's
they gave you a one-way ticket?
no. They haven't. We
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
discussed the parameters, but that was just a
Okay.
little bit of comedy,
Oh, okay.
trying to lighten the mood.
I'm sorry I was too straight for your.
Oh, that was like the Campbell soup reference with Bruce Campbell last night.
Shh. Haven't heard back from him yet, have you?
No, you know what? I haven't heard from Bruce. My gut is telling me that he's too busy right now to answer us, but he will probably answer us within the next 3 years.
Yeah. He might come back to us after because he is on a television show right now. He's working on a series, and so he's busy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're filming right now. He's
Oh,
what is it called? Burn Notice?
is he on Burn Notice?
He's on Burn Notice. He's
I
like
did not know that.
he's the older, more experienced ex-spy. And
Oh,
from what everybody I've talked to is I've never ever actually seen the show. My excuse is I don't have a television, but everybody I've talked to has said he steals the show.
I'm sure he does.
Every
He's
time
Bruce
he's
Campbell.
on, he's Bruce Campbell. He steals the show.
That's his job.
My God, we are the Bruce Campbell fan club.
We really are. And,
We're gonna have to start saying bad things about him just to equal it out a bit.
I think so. I think so. Bruce,
Unfortunately,
you're too tall.
I have nothing bad to say about Bruce. I just like the guy.
I know. He seems like, doesn't he seem like the kind of guy you could just sit down and like have a beer and some hot wings with?
Yeah.
And he'd be totally fine with that. And you know what? If we ever do have the opportunity, like Bruce, if you're listening, honestly, here's what I want to do. I want to get a video camera. We'll go to some like chicken wing place, like Hooters, perhaps. We'll find a table somewhere in the back, and we'll sit down. We'll get a pitcher of beer and a bucket of like 50 hot wings, and let us do just an interview until you're done eating, and then you can leave. And that's all we want. And we'll post it on our site. And how much fun would that be? You get free beer and wings. We get notoriety, and everyone's happy. I'm throwing it out there, and I'll even kick down for the wings. .com.
.com, but that means I have to fly out there.
You
Darn it.
would.
Yeah, I
Don't
would.
you? Don't you have frequent flyer miles somewhere?
No.
Oh. No, dude, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
There you go.
Maybe they have a Hooters simulator. We could just like have. Is there a Hooters in Second Life? Could we just go to?
Oh,
We'll
I
have Bruce
know.
Fuck in there.
There is a Hooters simulator. It's called iPretty.com.
Oh, that's it. Okay, there you are.
Uh,
So what's been
that's-
going on, Jerry? What have you been doing this week? Anything fun and exciting? I mean, there's so many things to talk about. I mean, movie openings coming up. I just saw Children of the Corn remade again for about the 12th time on the Sci-Fi Channel yesterday.
oh Lord, I bet that was wonderful.
You know what? Actually, all things considered, it was probably the closest adaptation to Stephen King's book than any of the previous ones.
Oh well, all right.
So if you get the chance to check it out, I would highly recommend it.
On what channel was it again?
It was Sci-Fi.
Oh, Siffy.
Syfy, yes, Syfy.
I guess they still pronounce it sci-fi, don't they?
They do. They do.
Okay.
I don't know why they changed it.
Well, because they're assholes.
Well, what marketing genius sat down in a group of people? Which do you like better, SCIFI or SYFY?
Oh, I think what is they had to distance themselves from actual science fiction because they have wrestling on there or something, So
Yes, and ShamWow commercials.
I don't
You
own
do know that guy,
I don't even own a TV, and that's one of the reasons.
the ShamWow guy.
No,
Oh,
Sci-Fi Channel.
I love you've seen the ShamWow commercial though?
No, but I've heard so much about it. It's almost as if I knew him.
Okay, dude, that could be your memoirs. The ShamWow guy, as if I knew him, by Jerry Davis. Dude, there's a
.com.
great .com. Dude, there's a great video on YouTube. Someone actually took the commercial and cut it and edited it with like rave music. It is the funniest damn thing. And he clipped out Vince, the pitchman's voice,
Yeah.
and ran it through a pitch machine so that he got the rhythm and the pitch and the notes right, and it sounds like he's singing the song. It's amazing.
Oh, how
It's
fun.
I'll see if I can find it and send it to you, just because it makes me laugh every time I see it, just because
Okay.
I love infomercials, and the wackier the better. And it was a sad day when Billy Mays passed away too,
Yeah.
right after Michael Jackson. So I don't know. Yeah, I'll send that to you, but that's definitely a funny link for you to check out.
I used to love watching the Suzanne Summers Thigh Master commercials.
Oh, dude, seriously, don't you wish you had TiVo back then? Pause.
Oh, I'm such.
Rewind. Pause. Rewind. Pause. Not interested. I don't know. My thighs never got bigger, but my right arm would develop amazingly. I could tear down doors with this thing.
Um,
Good Lord.
you have to. Never mind. So you have to even it out. But
Sadly, I am not ambidextrous. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Drifting away from that subject. Uh,
Yeah, we.
yeah.
Well, seriously, and that's what's funny too about talk about being unemployed. It's like there was a point, Jerry, and no fooling, before I had, before I had gotten married, where it was really tough, and I was like looking to either sell blood, like I could not find a place that would buy my plasma.
Oh,
I looked all over. No one would buy plasma. I actually, and how sad is this? I actually went and looked for, a place that I could sell semen. I'm not
oh
even, that's
yeah.
not even kidding. And there are places that will purchase that. And I was to the point, and fortunately, the second round of unemployment kicked in, which was great because honestly, if I had to sell my semen, I don't know if I could or not, but I just couldn't see money like that slipping through my fingers. That was probably the longest tee up for the shortest payoff, so to speak,
You
that
know,
I've
I,
ever
I,
heard.
I thought you were going somewhere about, I'm not sure if I could handle having kids out there that I don't know about, et cetera, et cetera. No, you're just going for a joke.
Oh yeah, I was just going. Yeah, I was just. It was a short-lived humor. I don't know. But how creepy would that be,
That would be kind of creepy.
dude? Like, could you imagine like if you were down on your luck and you sold a bunch of your semen, and then like 20 years later you're like in the home and like here comes the village of the damned walking into your room, and it's like all you, and you're like looking at them and they're looking at you, and it's what do you say at that point?
At least I didn't masturbate.
That's true. Sorry, kids, you could have wound up on the ceiling.
You could have been on the floor,
Oh, good
the
heavens.
gutter.
Oh, wow.
It's a Jethro Tull song.
Oh, that's true. That is right. That is Jethro Tull.
Or the sink.
The sink. Yes.
Yeah, what is it? The sperm's in the gutter, the love's in the
Yes,
sink.
burns
That's
in the
it.
gutter.
Yes.
He loves in the sink.
This moment brought to you by Electrosol
And Jethro Tull.
and JethroTull.com.
Ian Anderson's going to sue us now.
Probably, I'm just waiting for the day when the summons will come to the door. It's like it's bound to happen. Bring it on. I would love to go to a court. We'd have to find a good lawyer though. Could you imagine that going to court for something we did? We'd have to bring all of our shows in and make them listen to every single one. I think that would be brilliant. You and I would be sitting at the table in our little three-piece suits from Sears, and our attorney, who would probably be someone like, well, probably like someone like Joe Pesci and my cousin Vinny,
Yeah.
like doing the deal. These two Utes. I can only imagine that would actually be kind of funny to.
I think it'd be more fun just to represent ourselves so that, if we could, like, have it be a mistrial and, and
That
have
would
to
be
throw it out.
hilarious. They would. And then have the rights to run the recording on our show.
Yeah, really. And then they're like, you're not competent to represent yourself. In fact, we don't find you competent at all.
Yes, exactly.
Bring on the straight jackets.
As referenced in Zombie Beach episode 3 at 10 minutes and 12 seconds in, you will note the midget Barca Lounger reference. We would like to offer that as Exhibit 12B
.com.
for barcalounger.com. Oh, good heavens. So, dude, I'm so excited. How
Yep.
exciting is this? Zombieland opens this Friday.
Well, dear listeners, you can probably tell that we recorded this quite a bit ago, and it's already old news. Zombieland has come out. Our original plan was my daughter, who was in town, she and I were going to go see it, and then Dan was supposed to go see it, and then we were going to all get together and record our, not exactly a movie review, but at least our impressions of it. But that never happened. Dan got sidetracked and he was busy, and so I don't think he's even seen it yet. My daughter and I did go and see it. In fact, I smuggled my MP3 recorder into the theater and we got some sound clips.
Snowballs. Snowballs. Where's the bucket? Squeakies?
I like snowballs.
number 22. When in doubt, know your way out.
Her sister's, the little one's been big. Act normal, try not to freak her out.
Yeah.
Columbus, Wichita, Little Rock.
So, you did all this for a Twinkie?
Oh, no, he did. I'm just kind of like a Sancho Panza character.
So just in case you haven't seen it, it's just me recording right now. I won't reveal any details, but it was very funny. I really liked it. There was a surprise. You probably already heard about it, but I won't spoil it. There was a surprise celebrity cameo in the middle.
Oh, I'm on fire! Ouch! You're not a zombie, you're talking. You're okay. The hell I am!
I'm sorry.
And that part, as much as I kind of liked it, it also was a little embarrassing because it smacked of Hollywood insiderism. Like, we've got a star playing himself, and it was a little awkward even if it was funny, and they probably could have done without that. But other than that, especially for a comedy horror movie in the same vein as Shaun of the Dead, this was excellent, and I give it my thumbs up. Anyway, we'll rejoin the recording, as dated as it is now. Do you remember that zombie movie with Joe Piscopo and what's his name? William Treat? Treat Williams.
Treat Williams, not the one Joe Piscopo.
Joe Piscopo.
Oh, Dead Heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one was hilarious.
Now, see, that was a great premise too.
You know, I don't 100% remember the premise. I just remember there were cops.
Right.
And then Joe Piscopo. And this was like one of the last movies he made because then he got into weightlifting because he was like really buff in this movie.
Right.
He'd already started the weightlifting thing. And so he dies, but then he becomes a zombie and he's still a good guy and he's still a cop and he's still with Treat Williams. And that's all I really remember of it. That and the fact that it was funnier than hell.
Yeah, it was actually a very funny film. I mean, it definitely we need to send a shout out for people to go rent that one.
Well, you know what it reminded me of? Beverly Hills Cop with zombies. That's what it reminded me of.
Beverly Hills Zom.
Beverly Cop.
Cop.zom.com. Beverly Hills Zombie. See, now there's I can
make that.
You can make that. I'm telling you. Could you imagine
a new genre, cop zombies?
You know what? Honestly, I'm telling you that we have not seen the end of this genre.
Oh, no.
At all. I
hope it takes over from the vampires because I'm getting so sick of vampires.
Oh, you know what? And I am so sick of these whiny, moody vampires that don't want to be vampires. It's like, dude, embrace your blood-suckingness and go with it. It's like I watched Interview of the Vampire. It was running on, what was it? Must have been Sci-Fi, I guess. And Anne had never seen it. So we sat and watched it, and she really enjoyed it. I mean, she's not much for the blood and the gore and all that, but the storyline she loved. But it's like, that was really the start of the
modern vampires.
The modern, moody vampire that doesn't want to be a vampire, and he regrets becoming one. And that's what I loved about the Tom Cruise character in Interview with the Vampire. He did not give a rat's behind. He was a vampire. He liked to bite people, and he liked to feed on them. He was comfortable with being the undead, and I appreciated that. Whereas Brad Pitt is like, oh, I've been alive for 200 years, and I'm just so tired of being a bloodsucker, and it's poor me.
And I made that little girl into a vampire.
I know. It's like it's like the old vampire horrible victim. It's like, ugh.
But it was a good movie. It was that one was good, right?
It was great. I
loved the book. I remember reading the book when it first came out because I had it. It was like a book club book. It arrived in the mail,
Oh yeah.
And I read that and like straight through, and it was awesome.
Now I have to tell you, yeah, Interview with the Vampire, absolutely amazing. The Vampire Lestat, as good. The movie totally sucked.
Oh,
The Queen of the Damned, great, great book. Movie absolutely freaking sucked. I mean, all of Anne Rice's books are really, really good. I mean, I don't know if you've read Mimnock the Devil.
no.
Very interesting. Very,
Have,
very
have you?
interesting.
No, I haven't read it, but I'm interested in it. But I've got so many books to read. I just
You and me
but
both, man.
she wrote one about the missing years of Christ.
Oh, yeah, she actually became a born again Christian.
Well, I mean, but that's got to be a fascinating book.
Yeah,
Have
and
you
that
read
was
it?
that I have not read it, but that was the first book she wrote, unless I'm mistaken. And loyal listeners, if I am, please correct me. But this is what I had heard was that after she became a Christian, that was the first book she wrote was the lost years of Christ. So I would be fascinated to see what that's all about. I mean, I love her writing, and I actually even read her erotic novels that she wrote. The Sleeping Beauty novel.
No, I haven't.
You haven't done that, do? If you
No.
look up the erotic writings of Anne Rice, and you'll find them there. She wrote it under a different name. It was kind of like Stephen King writing under Richard Bachman,
Yeah.
but she wrote these S&M themed fairy tales, and they're very dark and very
Oh.
very creepy. And it was like kind of like Snow White and the story of O kind of combined.
That's pretty catchy.
Come on. Help me with the boots. Come on. Help me with the boots.
Well, folks, I would say that we ran out of time and we have to end the show now. But the simple truth is, we just stopped recording. This is the end of this episode. But anyway, I'd like to thank Sony for not suing us for using those unauthorized sound clips. And I would like to thank you for listening, downloading. Take care. Come back and see us again. We'll be making a new one shortly. Remember, .zom.com.